Hello, YouTube. It's me. Still sort of this true. Y'all know, some of you probably know, I got some feels about cruises. If you've been following and watching a lot of my videos, or occasionally catch me live on Twitch, and for whatever reason, there's a cruise-related topic. I rant a lot about cruises. I got feelings. So we're gonna watch Internet Historians, The Cost of Concordia. So grab your snackies, grab your bevies, let me know what you're eating and drinking down below. And let's get to watching. Let us cement my paranoia and feelings about cruises. Let us vindicate myself. All right. Is that not how you say it? Oh, okay. I was like, is that not how you say it?
The Costa Concordia. Ship of dreams. It's been 8.
Sorry, I'm laughing about the back of his head. It looks so silly. What is that silly? All right.
Years. I can still smell the buffets from their 5 restaurants. The casino and 3-story theater had hardly been used. The gym, the day spa, the sheets in her 1,500 luxurious cabins hadn't even been slept in.
I assume spas on a cruise ship are just, like, really expensive. Also, like, okay, like, I understand having gyms on a cruise ship to a point. I don't feel like I would want to go to a gym on a cruise ship, but I also just meander around my neighborhood for 4 miles. So, but, like, I feel like I would just make laps. I would just go on different floors and, like, walk in circles around the cruise ship, right? Like, exploring or whatever, getting entirely lost because they're giant, but, like, whatever.
Costa Concordia cost $570 million to build. And
Cool.
you could tell. You could really tell.
All right. It looks like most cruise ships, I'm gonna be honest. Oh yeah, just think you're free. You're like doing like a 200, 300 pound squat or something. Wave hits you. Turbulence, something. Turbulence. Wave hits you. Something. I mean, I guess like the idea is they're so big that they don't rock much, I think. But people still get seasick on them, so I don't know how true that is. But like, you're doing a rap and like bad storms come or something. Oh, they rock. Okay.
I remember it like it was.
Oh, they can rock really bad. I know they rock really bad in storms because I've seen those videos too. And I'm like, yes, I don't want to do that.
It was just a few years ago. We had left Civitavecchia, a port in Rome, and we were making our way to Savona. It was day 2 of our 7-day journey. But that ship, she was cursed.
Oh my
She
God.
was cast.
When she premiered,
She was cast.
the traditional bottle of champagne bounced right off the side instead of smashing.
Fuck. Melt it down. Start over. Melt it down. Scrap it. Time to start over.
A bad omen. But I'm not the superstitious type. Nothing could go wrong on Friday the 13th of January, 2012, on the 100th year anniversary of the Titanic.
What? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? What? Listen, okay, my understanding, and I could be entirely wrong, all right? Feel free to educate me on this, what I am about to say. My understanding is that generally sailors and like captains and like people that do boat shit generally are superstitious. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's a lot. Okay, I would be like, nah, man, this is bad juju. We gotta wait a week. Like, something. Like, like, I would just like, listen. Like, maybe, I don't know. But like, I feel like, you know, whether you believe or not, we just wait a week, okay? We just wait a week, because, like, I don't want bad press, because there are people out there that are superstitious, and I don't want them talking shit about my $570 million boat, okay? So we're just gonna wait a week. But no, they're not gonna wait a week. They're just gonna be like, it'll be fine.
On a ship that's also only safety rated for 2-compartment flooding. Especially not when you have a 5-star max-level captain like Francisco Scatino, a man who mysteriously rose from head of security to the position of captain within just a couple of years.
I'm sorry? Do those usually correlate? Why are you spritzing me with water? I didn't do anything. Do those usually correlate? Like, hey, you were a security guard, and now I believe you can be captain of this giant fuck-off ship in the ocean with hundreds of people on it.
He knows exactly what to do in case of an emergency. For example, when he caused this emergency in 2008 when he crashed into a port in Sicily. And in 2010, in Warnemünde, Germany, when he was steering a different ship and came into port too fast and caused another collision. I've got a good feeling about this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. First of all, okay, number one, why does this man retain his job as captain? Why is he retaining his job as captain? And this just makes it worse, because now I feel like I have to, I don't ever believe I will ever be on a cruise, but if I ever fucking do end up on a cruise, I guess I'm gonna have to try to figure out who the fucking captain is and how many damn shipwrecks he's gotten in.
So let's set the scene. It's a beautiful evening. People are having fun on the slides. Drinks.
I'm not drinking sweet tea. I'm drinking purple water. I drank 3 cups of sweet tea while doing work. I'm drinking purple water. Calm down.
At the bar,
Yeah, tenure?
Antonio Magnotta is playing piano at the restaurant. Martin the magician is setting up for his show. And the
Hey,
ship
Martin.
is
Ayo,
setting
Martin.
up for a little detour. It's called a sail-by salute. Basically, you get real close to the shore and honk the horn.
I'm sure the locals love that. I'm sure that's not obnoxious as fuck, because my understanding, again, could be wrong, is that mostly locals hate cruise ships. Oh, almost always. So, like...
Locals hate it, but the customers love it, and it's a tradition. Scatino, the captain, comes into the dining hall with a lady, Dominica Samorton. Remember this face, because you'll be seeing a lot of it later. Scatino eats his dinner with her and socializes for a little while. Then he, Dominica, and the maitre d' finish up and excuse themselves. They're heading to the bridge. It's time for that sail-by salute. This time, they're going to get closer than ever.
Don't do that. Don't get closer than ever. Just don't do that. Why would you do that?
Just 1,500 feet from the island of Giglio. And how are they going to determine this distance?
1,500. Why is your finger there? 1,500 feet. Most places, like the water gets shallower, and maybe there's, I don't know, rocks or some shit, or sandbars. I don't really know much about, I guess, off the coast of Italy, but I feel like what you doing with your finger?
Well, of course, the captain is going to eyeball it.
Oh my god.
Apparently, it's not an uncommon thing to do.
Why not? Why is that not an uncommon thing? Why? Do you not have map imaging or something? Ship GPS, please, for the love of Christ.
Scatino turns to the fella steering, his helmsman, Jacob Ruslibin.
What is this Sims-looking motherfucker?
First interesting tidbit. Costa Crociere has hired Jacob from Indonesia at a rock-bottom price, and he's a bit of a newbie to the job. In fact, his profession
I'm new, thanks for being patient.
hitherto, a painter and a cleaner. It's his first time steering a massive ship, and he's very excited.
You're telling me you were looking me dead in my eyes, okay? You were spiritually looking at me dead in my eyes. And you were telling me that there aren't some, like, ex-Navy ship drivers, I don't know, or something, that you could hire, potentially. Yeah, right.
At least, we think he is. It's hard to tell because he doesn't speak English or Italian very well at all. Off to a good start. The second-in-command orders the helmsman to 290. Now, don't be confused by these numbers, they're just the degrees on a compass. At the same time, the captain whips out his cell phone and calls former captain Mario Palombo, who lives on the island.
Mario Palombo is the reason for the sail by salute. He essentially came up the idea. He's not on... At the time. He's in Grosseto? Okay.
They chat about the safe distance to Giglio's shores. It's all very casual. Anyway, Mario says that the safe distance is between 0.3 and 0.4 miles from shore. The captain is going all in. This is not his first sail by salute, so he's confident in what he's doing. We're going closer than we've ever been before.
I don't care how many times. Okay, I have driven through the Zaxby's drive-thru. I'm not trying to get closer to the damn building. Okay? Like, I don't care. What do you mean you're going to take a big-ass fucking cruise ship and go super close to a landmass? Like, bruh, listen, I'm getting upset. I'm about to eat a jerky stick. Like, if y'all see me, like, doing something, that's the, yeah, all right.
The captain's eyeballing it again.
I got an angry chew. I'm already mad. Like, what do you mean? Get your fucking thumb down and whip out some, I don't know, radar or something.
New heading of 300, he tells the helmsman. Downstairs, Martin is about to cut his assistant in half. And of course, that means that there's already a lady inside this box. She's waiting for the cue, and then she'll poke her legs out. The captain is giving more orders.
Are you telling me that lady's about to die? Are you insinuating that lady's about to die?
Pulling gently to 310. Increase speed to 16 knots. Going this fast is going to be a fatal error. But before we talk about that...
I don't know anything about nautical speeds. What is 16 knots? First of all, we shouldn't be going this close. Second of all, the thumb isn't good enough. Third, maybe go 5 knots. I don't fucking know. I don't know what knots mean. 16 knots is 18.4 miles an hour? It's nautical miles. Okay. I just... Fucking... Why are you doing this? Like, I just...
Let's talk about another big problem. Language barrier.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the captain says 325, but the helmsman relays 315. So the first officer intervenes, and he goes, no, 335, which is also wrong. And then the captain clarifies, no, 325. The helmsman confirms 325. Their poor communication has them moving at a much wider angle than they think they are. However, the captain should...
Take a hard right. Fuck it. Turn it down to 1 knot and take a hard right.
Would know this, except for the next problem, complacency about procedure. The standard procedure of a ship this large is for the third officer to give exact positional coordinates every time the captain gives a new directional order. But they're not doing that. 330, he says. The helmsman relays 330. The ship reaches 16 knots. The captain then turns to the second officer and instructs him to go to the left wing. That's these things here, and they basically exist so you can get a better view over the whole vessel.
Okay.
A few seconds pass, and then the mood starts to turn. Scatino notices white foam of waves breaking against the rocks directly in front of him in the distance. The Costa Concordia, right now, is almost 700 meters closer to the rocks than it should be.
Rocks are actually we're actually underwater. Can you put that bitch in reverse and I hope it slows you down? Like, Jesus Christ, how do you fuck up this bad? Oh my God. Okay, cruise ships are big. We know this. This one costs $570 million. How do you, what? What? I've done this before. Have you? Dumbass.
Without deviation, there is going to be a direct collision.
Oh, shit!
Scatino immediately...
Oh, no. Sorry, the oh shit did get me, yeah.
Immediately commands the ship to start turning away. 335. Not enough. The captain shouts, 340. The captain yells, 350. Now, remember how I said that accelerating to 16 knots was a fatal error?
Yeah,
well, that's because it's made this ship incapable of such a drastic turn. What they've got is understeer. Here's an example.
The front end is not working. You're turning, and you're just going straight. You want to go over here, but you're going to end up over here.
So despite the order of 350, right now the bow is still only pointing at 327.
Deja vu. Instead of a train multi-track drifting or monorail multi-track drifting, it's just a giant fuck-off cruise ship!
Not nearly enough to miss the rock. And oh no, it's about to get worse. That language barrier again. In these critical moments where every second counts, the helmsman wrongly relays 340. The captain snaps back, 350 starboard or we end up on the rocks. The third officer goes to assist the helmsman. Now, don't get confused by the orders from here. We're changing over to rudder instructions. The captain yells, stop.
What? There's different instructions for different things? What? How? What? Okay.
Starboard 10. Starboard 20, and still it's not enough. Hard to starboard. That means as hard as it'll go. But at this point, even if they clear these rocks, they need to get the rest of the ship to swing around it. So the captain yells, midship, which centers the rudder. The bow is now less than 150 meters from Skull Rock.
Well,
Port 10. But the helmsman only gets to port 5 before another order is given 2 seconds later. Port 20. They might just avoid disaster here, maybe. But then, oh no. One more time, the helmsman cocks up at the worst possible moment. The helmsman goes to starboard instead of port, undoing the swing. 8 seconds later, he realizes the error and corrects, but it's too late. He has just turned...
Simulation show that if this hadn't happened, the ship would have missed the rocks by up to 10 meters or at least only flooded one compartment.
A probable near miss into a sure hit. All they can do now is hold on as the bow of the ship narrowly passes by the rocks. Hard to port! The second officer yells, "We're gonna hit!" Collision.
Boom! Hello, Matcha. How's it going? How could this happen to us? We fucked it all up. Oh, how many coffees got spilled on people?
Downtown, Nordtown. It's day 56 of playing Russian roulette. Seems I never win.
Gonna drink all by yourself?
Somebody has to.
I hear you're a man who's good at finding folks.
I'm many things.
I'm looking for this fella. I got to find him. It's breaking my little heart.
I'll see what I can do. I have contacts in thousands of servers in dozens of countries
Cruises are
across the globe.
90% bar.
And just like that, she was gone. The only thing she
They are
left
like,
was
hey.
a calling card.
Hey, drink more, drink harder, drink.
Sometimes when you follow a case, it follows you back. NordVPN can protect my online data. But who can protect me from myself?
I don't
When
know,
they
bud.
said this job gets easier, it was just another lie. Forensics found his password spread all the way down the block. In a perfect world, we'd all use NordVPN. But I guess this isn't that kind of story. I took the brakes off my car. Man like me never really learned how to stop.
Shut the fuck up.
I took the steering wheel out too. I let the road take me where I'm supposed to be. That's
My
right,
fucking
Toots.
God.
Your husband's dead. Merry Christmas. Go to nordvpn.com/internethistory for a huge discount on a 2-year plan. Ad over.
The ship hits rocks on the port side. A 53-meter gash opens up in the hull.
53 meters. Damn.
And thousands of tons of water begin pouring in.
Yeah.
A
No
loud
shit.
scraping and bang is heard by all passengers. At the helm, there's panic. Rumblings in the dining room. Martin awkwardly pauses his act as he's helping his assistant into the box. Meanwhile, the lady inside is trapped and terrified. There's confusion across the ship. All of the crew off shift come back on duty. All officers
All the crew off duty's like, ah, shit, here we go again.
run to the bridge. Technical crews run down to the lower decks to assess damage. On connection with the rocks, they lose propulsion and slow to 8.3 knots. And they are now adrift. Close the watertight.
My nightmare would be being the lady in the box. That would be fucking terrible. Like, oh my God. Like, the second, like, it's like, that wasn't someone bumping the fucking box. I'm about to die. Like,
Doors at stern. Enormous volumes of water are
Magic's over, motherfuckers! Get me out of the box!
pouring in. So much so that within 29 seconds of collision, all 6 engines stop working through flooding. 22 seconds later, a blackout happens. Lights, electrics, the water pumps too, everything. The captain orders the helmsman hard starboard. This is the final position of the rudder before power to that too is lost. The Costa Concordia, now without power, is drifting starboard, plunged into absolute darkness. A quick breakdown of the flooding. When the Concordia struck land, it tore open 3 watertight compartments. At first, compartment 5, which filled very rapidly. Then 6 more slowly, 4 shortly after. Then 7, 8 and 3. Modern ships are built to withstand 2 compartment breaches. These compartments especially though are a problem because they contain the engines and the electrics. These main generators give power to the whole ship. From propulsion motors to rudder to hotel functions, pretty much everything. When they went out...
Okay. I have an issue partly because, like, I don't think we need cruise ships to be the size they are. And yeah, I know, like, cruises are popular and money and all that shit. But, like, I don't know. They're too big. And they've got too much stuff going on. And surely, because, again, cruises sink. Like, they have accidents and they sink, okay? This isn't even the only one I know about because this one is obviously going to sink. And, like, Titanic aside, but, like, Titanic being, like, the most famous one. But, like, in general, things happen on cruise ships, 2 cruise ships, whatever, okay? Can we not put the engines and electrical shit in a different location or, like, more inward or something? Like, obviously, I don't know because I am not a shipbuilder. But, like, I don't fucking know. Something. Like something. His fatness high. Yeah, no, they are really bad for the environment as well. But, like still.
The ship was a functionless, sinking cage. A few seconds
Hate that wording. Functionless, sinking cage.
later, the emergency batteries for internal lighting and communications kick on.
Cool.
When the lights come back on, Martin has vanished. He's ditched the stage, and it caused a huge panic in the theater.
I'm sorry. He flipped open the latches, he vanished from the scene, allowing the lady to escape. Oh, thank God.
Martin has vanished. He's ditched the stage, and it caused a huge panic in the theater as passengers are trying to flee to their cabins and to muster station.
Weight balance need. The weight balance need, and then below the waterline, and they were in the middle-ish sections.
People already in their cabins come out and start putting on life vests.
Yeah.
Staff rally and try to calm everyone down. Everything is fine. There's no need for vests. Please return to your cabins.
Keep the fucking vests on. They can take those. They can fight you. Fight you for the vest.
The emergency generator starts.
Shut the doors. Shut all the watertight doors. Immediately close the watertight doors. To
All of the
engine room.
watertight doors close.
Drawer 12 jamming caused major problems as water could continue to flow between the engine room and electrical compartments.
Except for door 12, which is jammed. The captain calls Pilot, the chief engineer, as the ship begins to list on the port side. There's water coming in? Yes, there's water. But where? The engine room. But a lot of water? Yes! There's water, you can't go down. Let's go down the other side. In a moment we'll start the pumps, I'll let you know. In the theater, the
Yes! Of course it's a lot of... What do you mean?
whole magic box apparatus slides right off the stage and falls into the crowd, further increasing panic. On the bridge, an announcement is being prepared. They are going to lie to prevent a panic. Let's just say we have a blackout.
Cruise director makes the announcement for the director's assistant.
The deputy chief engineer enters the engine control room. He confirms to the bridge that at least compartments 5, 6, and 7 are flooded. Announcements are made.
The captain to inform you that due to an electrical fault, which is currently under control, we're currently in a blackout. Our technicians are working to resolve the situation and will inform you of developments as they occur. Thank you.
Listen. I understand a thought process of we have to keep people under control and keep them from panicking as we try to solve this. I don't know if just straight up lying to them is necessarily the fucking answer, though. Like, it feels a little bit not good.
For your attention.
Coincidentally, at the same time in the restaurant, they're playing My Heart Will Go On, and it's very much not helping the situation. The captain calls the Costa Crisis Unit, Roberto Ferrarini. He tells the crisis unit that they've hit a rock, that they're assessing damages, and that they are also in a blackout. The crisis office says to reverse the ship up onto shore. Well, how are you going to do that? You don't have power to the rudder, let alone the engine. You know, hoist the sails? Anyway, around this time, the wind direction creates a starboard list, and the ship begins to turn anyway, drifting right back towards the shore, which is a very good thing because you want the ship to end up as close to shore as possible. A panicked passenger senses that something is off. This isn't like any electrical problem that she's ever seen. Plus, there was a massive crashing noise, and now the ship is tilting.
And all of the plates are falling on the ground and sliding. That's not normal. It's not even rainy out.
So, she contacts her daughter in Italy. The daughter then calls the police, and the police call the harbour master. While that goes on, a conversation between Pilon and Ambrosio. The diesel is not starting. The captain asks the engine room, but where have we made contact? Thinking that the incoming water can be reduced. Captain, here everything is lost. The electrical panel, everything. They're saying at this point that the ship is going down. The captain calls Roberto Ferrarini again. Actually, 2 compartments have been flooded, but don't worry, the ship's stability isn't in danger.
He's wrong. It's 3 compartments. He's wrong again. The ship's stability is in danger.
Wrong. Passengers begin going to muster stations on their own initiative. The cruise director says,
Good for you, passengers.
We have a lot of people at muster stations that I do not want to fall overboard. Do we make an announcement to tell them to go to the lounges? Bozio says, I think that's best. The harbour master from Livorno calls the ship. The captain tells them that we just have a blackout. How long has this blackout been going?
Why are you lying to the harbour master? You're on crisis control being like, hey, yo, like, we hit a rock, and, like, 2 of our compartments are fucked up, and we don't have power, and for the harbour master, you're just like, this is an electrical outage. And nothing else. Like, come on! Come on!
Going on. About 20 minutes. Have you asked passengers to put on life vests? It's just a blackout. I've got to go. The harbour master is suspicious. He says
the harbour master's like, that smells like bullshit.
says to his superiors that he thinks something more is going on. He calls a patrol boat to the area and asks them to look at the ship. Another problem. The fan on the emergency diesel generator isn't working properly. Pilon manually has to turn the thing on and off with a screwdriver so that it doesn't overheat and cause a fire.
With a screwdriver?
The captain is on the phone to the lower...
Like, with a screwdriver. Okay.
Decks asking pointless questions like, is it still flooded? Yes. Yes, it is. The captain...
My God, I need you to understand it is never going to be not flooded, okay? It is just flooded. Like, it is flooded, period. That's it. It's flooded. It's not going to not be flooded. Please.
The captain is essentially in denial of the situation. The harbour master calls again. Finally, he says, the ship is taking on water through an opening in the left side and the ship is listing. He qualifies with, no one dead or injured. Side and the ship is listing. He qualifies with,
he's lying. That is not something he could know, whether or not anyone's dead or injured.
no one dead or injured. The harbour master asks if he needs help. Just a tugboat? When in reality, they need a full rescue.
A tugboat. You gonna tugboat a giant ass cruise ship that is taking on tons of water, is horrendously listing, and is straight up just sinking. Like, buddy, you gonna tow it? Like, you gonna tow it while it scrapes against the bottom of the fucking ocean? What?
With 3 compartments flooded, the captain finally realizes that things are really bad, and they are not going to improve.
Oh, I might be fucked. You think?
The Coast Guard orders every available ship to the sea. Meanwhile, up with the passengers,
We have an announcement from our captain. Also, it's like the Coast Guard's like, I don't believe you. Everybody go. Scramble, scramble. We're scrambling. Go.
cruise director's assistant says, everything
We kindly ask you to return to your cabins, or if you prefer, you can stay in the
is under
lounges.
control. Please return to your cabins or hang about in the lounges, no problem.
Once we finish addressing the
She said this
generator
despite
electrical
knowing it was
problem.
wrong and that it further endangered lives. Most passengers at this point, though, aren't listening to this nonsense, and they're busy figuring out how to abandon ship. Bang, 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 bang. Local television has already picked up the story, and they begin broadcasting live radio.
Christ. You have to close the watertight doors. All are closed.
Radio feed from the bridge.
Watertight doors closed immediately.
Captain, the passengers are going on board the boats.
What's going on with that guy?
Okay, let them go to shore. So then general emergency? Wait, let me talk to Ferrarini. We risk the emergency generators that do not have cooling. It has cooling problems, 100 degrees. The cooling fan has stopped. Pilon calls the bridge and tells the safety officer they need to evacuate. The safety officer relays this to the captain, but after no response, he orders the engine room to evacuate on his own. The captain says, "No, stay."
No. Just absolutely not. No.
We're leaving. So what do? General emergency? The captain tells Ferrarini that he's abandoning ship. Abandoned ship. Another announcement is made.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The situation is under control. Please remain calm. But at this time, proceed to your muster station. They're located outside on deck 4.
The Livorno Coast Guard calls again. The captain declares distress. The Coast Guard officially calls for rescue operations. They contact Pietro Mille, the helicopter base commander, who then calls in every available pilot as he rushes down to the helicopter base. Pilon shuts down
Let's go.
the emergency generator for the final time. The first rescue vessel arrives. By this point, the lifeboats are already going. Luckily, the ship is very close to shore. Oh, perhaps too close to shore. The ship forcefully runs aground, creating an uneven center of gravity, and it begins heavily listing starboard. The captain issues a general emergency on board. The announcement to abandon ship is finally called and alarms ring out, and with that comes panic. And now that they're listed, with many of the lifeboats too awkwardly positioned to enter the water, there aren't enough readily available, and they have to start going back and forth to the shore, picking people up and dropping them off. The patrol boats report to the Livorno harbour master that the ship has run aground and is listing heavily. So the harbour master asks the captain about it, and the captain says, no, the ship is still floating.
Why are you lying? Lost Canadian High, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? They can see you. This dude's like, we can see you. I got pictures, man. I can see you. What?
In fact, we're trying to maneuver it onto the shore. They know he's lying.
Hold on, I'm reversing it. Beep, 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 beep.
The captain then says to bottom out the starboard anchor. So they drop out the anchors, but let out too much chain, effectively rendering them useless. The deputy mayor of Giglio
I got a question. How do you know how much chain you need? Is it an electrical thing? Like, is it like, this is the depth? Okay, like, is it like an electrical thingy? Because, like, I guess they still have generators. I don't know. Like, they have battery backups, right? But, like, how do you know? Like, because, I mean, they did do it manually in the olden days, but, like, Sonar? Okay. So, like, I bet the harbor master knows. But I'm like, you know, how would they know? Because, like, this guy's an idiot. Like, this guy has no business being a captain in any way, shape, or form. And apparently he just hired random-ass people for cheap that probably shouldn't be in the bridge of a cruise ship. But, like, Jesus Christ.
Mario Pellegrini and tobacco shop owner Giovanni.
Yeah, this is his third ship disaster. He's got a habit of running. There are hundreds of millions of dollars, these cruise ships, and he just keeps like crashing them into things.
Giovanni Rossi arrive at the harbor. They watch the scene unfold. As the first of the lifeboats arrive on shore,
Oh
the
man,
deputy
okay. This is terrible. But you know how it's like, oh, we're gonna do like a little drive-by or whatever the fuck it's called, and like, you know, we're gonna blast music and be obnoxious and like all the locals hate it. Think about being a local who's just sitting there like watching this all unfold, like, oh, he fucked up. And also thanks for basically polluting and doing horrible things to my damn local ocean, you fuck.
Mayor takes the initiative and races to board one of the lifeboats, returning to the ship, and starts trying to find someone in charge. He gives up and starts helping passengers. Scatino tells everyone to leave and take radios, but not before changing out of his uniform and into a nice suit. Priorities.
Okay.
Dimitri Christidis and Silvia Coronica leave with him. The maitre d' and Sir Morton both get out of there. By this point, approximately 300 people are...
is on its fucking side. Did I hear about this actually? This happened in 2012, right? Oh my god, I was at work when this happened. I remember this. Actually, I remember it being on the news.
Still on the ship, Millet reaches the helicopter base. The first helicopter, a slow-moving Augusta Bell, was already rising from the tarmac for the hour-long flight south. Bozio is the last crew member left on the bridge,
Canessa was also
coordinating evacuation. He then leaves to help passengers board lifeboats.
Carrot,
The bridge
hi, thanks
is
for the
now
follow.
abandoned. And then, the ship's black box stops working.
Call it a VDR, voyage data recorder.
Apparently there were technical problems with it. That means, from here, things are going to get a little foggy in detail. A while later, rescue helicopters arrive, but they're struggling to find the ship because they're expecting it to still be well above water. Passengers are scaling down the port side by ladder as lifeboats return.
I was working in a restaurant. I think I was a hostess.
To pick them up.
This is no joke. Oh my goodness. It was no joke, mi amor.
Is this a joke? I would be like, you can see the ship. It's like on its side. What do you mean, is this a joke? It's are you okay? I mean, obviously you just got off a ship, sinking cruise ship, so you're probably not great. All your shit's still over there. Like, you couldn't leave with your baggage, but like, you can see it.
Yes.
You're not allowed to make a film movie.
I'm allowed.
Who say you are?
I'm allowed because, like, who's gonna stop me? You gonna stop me? I'll fight you.
A second helicopter, a faster model, sets off. The ship stops heeling and comes to a final resting place. Now the Coast Guard calls the captain because he's just learnt that the captain has abandoned ship. The captain claims, no, actually I slipped and I fell into one of the lifeboats. I'm a klutz. But now that I'm on board, I may as well head back to shore. DeFalco tells the captain to get the fuck.
I just realized, hold on, the people still on board number. Did he? What?
Now that I'm on board, I may as well head back to shore. DeFalco tells the captain to get the fuck back on board. And the captain kind of acts confused and then fuck back on board.
Get back on board for fuck's sake.
And the captain kind of acts confused and then effectively refuses. So the captain makes it to shore. From here, we...
Only mainstream news reports, no court records, no VDR. Unhappy feet.
They only have mainstream news reports to rely on, so it's not going to be super accurate. But they say that Giglio's police chief then finds 110 survivors on the rocks at Point Gabbianara, and among them is the captain. It's not known whether the captain helped anyone while he was there, and in fact the police chief claimed that he just sat on the rocks and watched other people do the rescuing.
I believe that. I believe he was just like, oh wow, look at all that. Like he wasn't the fucking cause of it.
A while
How could this happen to me? Everyone else fucked up except me.
later, a rescue boat picks up the captain and takes him to the harbour. He speaks to the police. He then finds the ship's onboard chaplain, Father Rafael Molina, and cries to him for about 15 minutes. Then he goes to the harbour master's office to...
I'm getting fired for real this time. They're gonna take away my captain's thing. Does he have a license? I guess he had to, right? But he started as a security guard. I don't even know how he made it as a captain from security guard. Like, he's got to have something.
receive probably the biggest dressing down of his entire life.
Yeah.
Port authorities asked the taxi driver to take the captain back to his hotel. The captain takes the 30-second cab ride to the Bahamas hotel. According to the cabbie, he was beaten like a dog. He was cold and afraid. He only asked me where he could buy a pair of fresh socks. But then he perked right up again and gave an interview to a news crew. He told them that he was the last to leave.
The captain is usually the last to abandon ship. What happened, Captain?
We were the last to leave the ship.
35, still on board. 35.
All day Saturday, rescuers search for people on the ship. On Sunday morning, a South Korean couple is found in their cabin, safe but shivering. They had slept through the crash and woke up unable to exit their cabin.
Oh no. That would be me. That would be me. Hey, I don't want to mingle with strangers, so I'm just gonna sleep. Oh shit, what happened? Why the fuck can't I get out? What's happening? Why am I sideways? How did they not get tumbled out of bed? The ship is basically fucking sideways.
Cabin. The last survivor, Manrico Giampandroni, was found with a broken leg. He was the cabin's service director. In the end, 32...
It's fucking sideways! Oh my god. 33, including a salvage worker who died in an accident on the ship 2 years later during recovery.
2 people died. The final body wasn't discovered until nearly 3 years later. A crew member, Russell Rebello.
Oh no. Oh, that's so sad.
And it's believed that he died a hero, helping passengers off the ship.
Oh.
The Costa Concordia was the largest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic.
Apparently, in the cruise ship and in the cruise industry, it's common to assign qualified officers to other positions like security when they are waiting for the full job to keep them retained on the payrolls.
And then there's the ship. This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over in the ocean.
It's how many tons? Hold on.
This is what happens to a 110,000-ton cruise liner when it's left half rolled over.
I mean, it's not easy to unroll it. It's really heavy and really big and kind of unwieldy. How you gonna unroll that? How you gonna take it off the rocks and just have it upright? Like, how you gonna do that?
In the ocean.
Yeah, people definitely were out there stealing shit from it. Like, look at it. They've stripped this. Like, there is one thing about, like, oh, you know, it was in the ocean rotting, right? Some of this is just people coming out and stripping parts of it. Whichever cruise company owns this, come get your trash. Come get your fucking trash. You hired this dingbat. And then you just left your trash here. Come get it.
But this isn't the end. It's just the halfway point. What most people know is that the Costa Concordia had crashed, many dead, and that the captain abandoned ship like a coward.
To spaghetti.
There's a whole veritable spaghetti of details to untangle. Let's dive in.
Why? With your hands? Why? Oh my god. Oh, fucking god damn it.
There they are. The deets.
Please. Oh! There it is. I mean, if it is that close to a shore, yeah, people are just going to go steal shit off of it. Absolutely.
Loot box time. The Costa Concordia was more than just a floating resort. There's a mall, a casino. Yep. Cha-ching, cha-ching. This iron chest was full of safes and cash registers.
Y'all remember Overwatch loot boxes? I remember Overwatch loot boxes.
And expensive fittings. And there were plenty of gamers prepared to sneak by authorities and try their luck in the hot zone. Within days, police died.
Costa Concordia shipwreck is treasure trove of passengers' abandoned belongings. Yeah, that would suck. I'd be pissed. Survivors blame Italy for stolen possessions. Survivors claim cash and jewels are missing. No shit.
Survivors reported that valuable items, once seen lying around the ship, were now missing. High-end liquor, expensive furniture, dining sets, cash from the casino, cash registers, jewelry and display cabinets, safes, Japanese woodblock prints by
Ukiyo-e? Collection includes 12 pieces by Hokusai and 3 Kitagawa and a piece by which was active in the late 18th century. More than 6,000 works of art decorating the walls, including a collection of 300-year-old woodblock, 36 views of Mount Fuji. I would be 100% with you. Okay, if some fucking cruise company was like, hey, person that has all of, like, me, come to me, like, I run a museum or some shit. I don't fucking know. I'm in charge of lending precious works of art out to things. You know, some, like, first of all, museums trade some pieces of art sometimes, and then things will tour. Like, that isn't, like, actual art pieces will tour or whatever, usually, like, by a specific artist or whatever. If they were like, hey, I would like to use such and such priceless art, what the fuck ever, on my cruise ship, I'd be like, get fucked. Absolutely not. How do you say your name? Hi, thanks for the follow. Welcome. But like, get fucked. No, the answer is no. You're not putting this artwork on a cruise ship. No, thank you. Just no, thank you.
By famous 18th century artists, as well as the iconic bell, which hung from the bridge of the ship. It was never found.
That's pretty fun.
Who steals a big fuck off bell?
Because it's funny. I mean, why wouldn't you? First of all, that thing's probably copper. Maybe. I don't know. It might be brass, actually. It's probably brass. But, like, still, it's absolutely brass. I'm stupid. It's definitely not copper. Still. Like, that's funny. Like, I don't know how else to tell you. It's funny. Like,
even the server admins were getting involved. 4 divers who were part of the company contracted to refloat the Concordia were spotted on CCTV, sneaking out to the ship. A patrol boat was dispatched, and the men were caught inside the fancy suites with rucksacks full of stolen goods. The 4 men are charged with stealing.
Each fined 200 pounds and given 4 to 6 months in jail.
And thieving. and Pynchon. Later on, stolen as well as legitimate items found their way to Amazon and eBay.
That
Ships from the
tracks.
casino, postcards, and cabin access cards became highly sought after souvenirs.
It even has a watermark.
Some Australian
Watermark.
guy even made a listing for the ship itself, advertising it
funny.
as buyer to collect. And although there were plenty of bidders, eBay pulled the plug. I know you want to see Scatino go to jail, and we'll get to that. But first, we have to talk about someone else. Dominica Samorton.
That was a
She
close
looks
one.
There was
All right.
speculation that she was on the bridge that evening because she was the captain's mistress.
Intense media speculation reports that her presence distracted the captain.
They both denied their love for years and maintained that they were just friends.
important ship stuff. Yes, is very attracted to the captain, and he was clearly interested in me. I had a big crush on him because he was very good looking and very charming.
Although she did later admit to the media that she found him handsome. And how could you not?
You so fucking precious when you smile.
But she says there was no romantic link between them.
Some people would like to believe, they want to know I have something with him. It's more interesting. It's like, you know, some spice.
My late night sex sessions in Concordia, Captain. What the fuck?
Spicy in the story.
Miss Samorton also loved the spotlight, however.
Everyone! Oh no!
And took several interviews. But as the pressure mounted upon her, she began making ominous threats to Scatino.
Oh, Captain was married, FYI. Lord.
Saying he must confess.
I give you just 1 week to tell the truth about what happened immediately after you did the announcement to abandon ship. 1 week.
And that you have but 1 week to come clean. But things from here get weird.
Spicy.
Samorton is a bit of a wild card. In a subsequent interview, she claimed a helicopter came to the ship well before the other rescue craft to take away a package. Huh? And what was that package? Drugs, apparently. So rumors began that
What? Slam down. Oh my god. Holy shit. It would not surprise me at all, by the way, if cruise ships were smuggling shit like drugs. Like not surprising at all.
the ship was running narcotics for the mafia. And not without cause. A number of cruise ships, even recently, have been caught trafficking drugs.
Hey! Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, that tracks.
As an aside, Scatino was tested for drugs immediately after the crash. He tested negative for drugs in his system, but trace amounts of cocaine were found in a hair sample.
Okay, so how hair... Listen, your hair tells on you, okay? Because, like, when you take drugs or whatever, it gets in your hair follicles and it, like, stays in your hair strand. So, like, you could be tested for, like, cocaine a significant amount of time after you've taken it. Like, I'm talking, like, amount of time. And they could be like, yeah, at some point in X amount of time, they've had cocaine. Because it's this part of their hair, like this part of the strand of hair has like traces of cocaine or whatever in it, like something like that. Like your hair tells on you, like. So like just because he has traces of cocaine in his hair, like from a hair piece sample, whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean he was doing cocaine on the ship.
Makes it smoother and less dry.
Nonetheless, the Concordia was
The cocaine makes it smoother and less dry. No, it doesn't.
searched and no drugs were reportedly ever found. How did we get here? Oh, right, a helicopter. Samorton commented...
I'm getting dizzy. Fuck. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm there. I'm getting there.
On it again the next day and said, actually, that helicopter was just for the captain as a means of evacuation from the ship. Okay, wait. So she expected to get some sort of first-class rescue while everyone else was still stuck on the ship? Wait, how did we get here? Oh, right, sex with the captain. Divers were quick to head to the captain's cabin where they found Miss Sir Morton's lingerie and other articles of...
According to the Australian newspaper, is my humor just random edits? Apparently. I don't know. I don't know what my humor is.
Clothing as well as a makeup bag. The jig was up, but they continued denying it. Sir Morton mostly faded from international attention until she was told to appear before the court to present witness testimony. The judge pressed her to be truthful about their relationship, or she would be held in contempt.
Either tell me the truth or shut up.
So finally, she admitted it.
Yes, I had a sentimental relationship with the captain.
Sentimental. We were boning. Like, we were just doing the dirty. We were doing the nasty. We were boning. Yep. Sentimental.
Stop. But now, stop asking about my private life.
She was indeed the captain's lover.
What? Yes! No one saw that coming. Roboline, hello.
What's up, Trouble Alert Nation? Sitting no cheated on this white.
This guy seems very energetic.
With Seymour Tan. Oh my god!
She and Scatino had been having an affair.
Moldovan dancer admits she was Costa Concordia captain's lover.
Affair for several weeks. She also said that on the night she boarded, she didn't have
Hold on.
Been having an affair for several weeks. She also said
when you are someone's lover, no one asks you for any explanations about not having a ticket.
That on the night she boarded, she didn't have a ticket.
Ticket, please.
And didn't need to pay because nobody questions you when you're the captain's lover. Naturally, she gave another confusing interview after leaving court.
I want to say that today is the second time I die because the first time I died in the night of the crash with my psychological brain and
Reminder that people actually non-figuratively died. I mean, I don't think she knows how to say what she's trying to say in English. Like, I think that's her issue. I feel like English isn't her first language and she doesn't know how to say what she's trying to get across in English, but she's trying.
Problems. And today I died the second time because, of course, people find out something that I try to hide.
Subsequent to the trial, she used her fame in Moldova to become a political activist.
A what? What? Footage telling how she manages in Great Britain with record COVID-19 cases.
Often appearing on television and radio and in articles covering protests. Accompanied...
Hold on, what? I'm sorry. Children in prison without childhood?
Accompanied by pictures of her being arrested by police.
She's complaining that there aren't enough bins in the area. The police are telling her to calm down and point out that there are bins right there. The crowd standing around is telling police she's allowed to protest here and generally white knights. She's saying this is normal. Look, trash everywhere. It's normal. I mean,
it was some stuff about victims of violence, women's rights, girl power, yada yada yada. And interestingly, part of a push.
Do you remember Dominica? How we find it today, and what it does for what? Ethan, thanks for the Prime subscription. Welcome, appreciate you.
to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network.
What? Complaint against the sale to Vladimir Putin of shares of the company that manages Moldova railroad infrastructure, arguing that with a privatization she would transform the nation into a hostage of... Hold on.
And interestingly, part of a push to block the sale of shares of Moldova's train network to Russia. Sure. Other than that, I don't really know what she's been up to. Let me just check on her Oh God, not again.
First of all, is this like is she in a helicopter? Because like that's not a ship, but like that's legitimately pretty funny. Oh my god.
Several civil suits were quickly...
That's a jumbo jet? Oh, Jesus.
...lodged against Costa Croce.
Okay. Okay. Passenger sued cruise company for $460 million. Islands where it sank sues for hundreds of millions. Seeking $200 million for damage. Italian officials sue owner for $275 million over ruining local tourism. Dominica suing for £200,000.
Yeah. And their parent company, Carnival Cruises,
fuck off.
immediately saw a share drop of 23%.
No shit.
Don't beat. Passengers sought compensation.
The Florida suit is pushing for $10 million in personal damages and $450 million punitive damages on behalf of 6 passengers, 2 American couples, Jeffrey and Nancy, and Mario and Nancy, and an Italian couple. The Italians are Ernesto and Paola from Rome, who on Tuesday, their voice is shaking, told their harrowing story of escaping after a lifeboat they were in became caught on the ship's side. Thank you for head pats.
For their damaged mental health, lost belongings, and loved ones.
Either they allowed him to divert from his course, or they didn't know where their billion-dollar ship was.
Within a few days, facing financial and media pressure, the CEO attempted to join the bandwagon against the captain and the crew.
That was not the ordinary route that the ship was taking at the time, and was not only taking, but the time the ship was...
Junior! Buddy, you let someone who should not have been a captain be a captain. I don't understand how you let that... The dude crashed 2 other fucking ships, and you let him captain this one. Like, I don't know what to tell you, my guy. Like, they should absolutely sue your ass.
That the ship was not approved to deviate from the route. But that wasn't true. Approval isn't required if the ship is deviating by less than 15 miles, or that it was against company rules. Also untrue, because investigators found that they didn't have any rules about deviating route, and they tacitly encouraged sail-by salutes.
Why? What do you mean you have no rules? You should absolutely get fucking sued then.
Now, in response to the civil suits, Costa Croce offered passengers €11,000 each as compensation.
$14,000? $14,000? How'd that go?
That's kind of small.
€11,000, about $14,000, is the minimum compensation under international law when a ship is abandoned.
This was to reimburse them for their tickets, as well as any costs they accrued in having to unexpectedly travel home early.
and that was supposed to release them from everything and anything that has to do with this accident. I cannot ask for more than this.
A lot of passengers, understandably, were not too happy with this deal, and they refused to take the money.
We think the offer is an insult.
Yeah, if you take the money, then, like, that's it. You don't get to sue them because you took the money. But, like, if you don't take the money and you lawyer up, it's like, give me more money. All of my valuables are on that ship.
For what these poor passengers went through, we think...
Also, the emotional and mental trauma I went through because the cruise ship I was on is now on its side in the water.
think that the compensation being offered is not commensurate.
This guy look like a wrestler to you? Does this guy look like John Cena to you? Is that just me? Kind of. Okay.
Passengers went through. We think that the compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Here, take it.
Compensation being offered is not commensurate.
Later, Costa Crociere would lodge a plea deal with the Tuscany court to pay a €1 million fine to avoid a criminal trial. The judge agrees. Costa Crociere...
What? Why?
is now off the hook for all criminal liability for the
He got paid off.
whole thing. They've washed their hands of the incident and flecked the residual droplets of responsibility onto the faces of 6 staff members. Passengers and relatives of the dead are livid that the company has been able to avoid criminal responsibility.
Yeah, no, that's valid. I would also be pissed.
Offered is not commensurate.
Civil suits against the company continue. By the way, the residents of the island of Giglio also banded together.
The port was blocked to fishing boats while the recovery was being done, importing goods a lot more difficult to... Okay, so it made it just difficult importing and fishing. They had an influx of tourists, but they were all there to see the Concordia. In the end, they didn't get much in terms of compensation. That would... like, if it's like, hey, we rely on fishing, or one of our big industries is fishing, and our fishing boats can't get to port because of this fucking thing for a while, right? Like... This sucks.
And sought damages. They didn't get much. Eventually, passengers who refused the initial compensation of $11,000 joined civil parties against Scatino in his trial in 2015.
It's not commensurate.
They were awarded €30,000 each. Other cases, especially those involving lost relatives, are settled for undisclosed.
There haven't been any updated articles since 2015, so we haven't been able to verify if there are any other ongoing cases.
Just amounts.
Yeah, good thing I was in a Disney cruise in 2024, because if you got Disney Plus, they don't, you can't sue them.
New York attorney Peter Renee traveled to Budapest to represent 6 real survivors of the disaster.
At Ronay & Ronay, we personally work on every case.
And we'll work harder than anyone to get you the most money possible in the shortest amount of time.
And while on the job, a 7th case cropped up via email. An elderly woman, Alona, said,
"Help me, Mr. Ronai, for I have lost my daughter, Eva, and my 5-year-old granddaughter, Roxana."
Oh.
So Mr. Renai agreed to speak with her. However, there were some inconsistencies in her story. Neither Eva nor Roxana were on the passenger list. Odd, but Costa is known for having stowaways.
Gotcha, bitch!
Still, Mr. Renai was suspicious. They wouldn't cheaty old Petey, would they? Renai inquired further about why she was on board, especially without a ticket. Ilona said,
"Well, I don't know, but you should ask her boyfriend.
Zolt Horvath.
He'll know all the details."
I'm up all night. I'm going crazy, he said. But Mr. Renai was still suspicious.
What is
Because then
happening?
she asked, "How much money do you think this is worth?"
It's gotten more sus.
This is
You're fucking with me. This isn't real.
a huge red flag, Petey.
That's a huge red flag. In 20 years of doing this, never once have I experienced a situation where someone loses a relative and they talk about money. Every family just wants to know what happened, how did it happen?
In 20 years of doing this, you've never had anyone ask about money. Why now? So Mr. and I hired an investigator.
Get the fuck out of my office.
And sent photos around of the missing girl. The next day, the phone rang. Oh, hoi hoi. It was the boyfriend again. Look, there's been a bit of a misunderstanding and the child isn't missing at all. Uh-huh. And then he claimed he was confused.
Daughter was not missing and it had been a misunderstanding. He told he had been confused because he'd done too many drugs the night before. Oh, good.
Because he had done too many drugs the night before. Oh. Okay, can I speak to the daughter then? At first, he was refused. So Renai said that he'd have to file a missing persons report to the police if he couldn't. The boyfriend relented. That night, Renai met with Zolt and brought the police with him. He speaks to the granddaughter and asks her if she's seen Mum. Yeah, I saw her today. Oh, really?
Do tell.
Yeah, we went to the park today and we went on the swings. Oh no, the jig was up. So the mum walks into the room sheepishly. It's a miracle! And the story changed again. Okay, I'm not dead.
She said, my leg still hurts. I can't even walk right. I should get money for that. Her leg didn't have any marks. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. But, like, were you even on the fucking boat?
But I did injure my leg when I jumped from the ship. And then I immediately flew back to Budapest. Although don't worry about checking my leg because there are no visible marks or injuries. Oh, Petey?
I think I'm done here. Thanks. Bye.
I'm beginning to think they weren't even on the boat. Also, it turns out this lady isn't her mum, it's just a neighbor. Eventually, Renee managed to make the pair confess. And then they said, hey, we haven't done anything wrong. We haven't taken any money. And in the end, it looks like there'll be no criminal punishment for the scam.
Hungary, a former communist country, has no insurance fraud laws to deal with the case. Hungary's never had anything like this happen. They don't know how to punish these people. Wow. Wow. Like, this has never happened to them before? Like ever?
Because Hungary, a former communist country, has no laws against insurance fraud on the books.
The law firm that never
They are actually very good lawyers and have won awards. I'm just having fun. Please no sue.
sleeps. Call 1-800-6647.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, that's a very bad idea.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Mario, would you teach me some Italian?
Oh, of course.
Means get back on board for fuck's sake.
Okay, thanks.
Gregorio De Falco, the naval officer who shouted at Scatino to...
A naval officer of the Corps for the Port Authority, head of operations section, and Livorno? I'm going to say all this wrong. I'm so sorry. De Falco was responsible for overseeing the safeguarding of the waters around that place. Something captain is the official Italian rank. In Anglo-Saxon countries, it is the equivalent rank. It's in Anglo-Saxon countries, the equivalent rank is usually commander, equal to lieutenant colonel in the army.
Vada a bordo Caso became a bit of a national hero overnight in Italy. He, like the rest of the world, expected Scatino to go down with the ship. And when the captain chickened out, De Falco was there to admonish him. And when he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him...
Motherfucker! just turn off your goddamn radio? I was not done.
On blast.
But I will really hurt you. I will cause you a boatload of trouble. Yes, a proper emergency, and he was still making puns. Oh no. Wait, what did he say the whole time?
Captain chickened out. DeFalco was there to admonish
Okay, we
him.
didn't see
And
that.
when he stopped answering the radio, he called him on his cell phone to continue putting him on blast. When the captain first reported just a blackout, DeFalco didn't believe the story and immediately began preparing a rescue effort, which likely saved several lives. His actions were applauded by most Italians who were tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding
Nice.
responsibility. Accordingly, shirts sported tired of their public servants being corrupt and avoiding
Okay. I was like, where is it? It's over here.
responsibility. According
Why would you answer your cell after shutting the radio off? That's such a good question. Like, I guess he didn't have the number saved, so he was like, I don't know who this is. Maybe it's my mom. Like, I don't fucking know.
shirts sporting Vada a bordo Caso were being printed by the end of the week, others setting it as their phone's ringtone. But then, in September 2014, without warning, DeFalco was transferred to an admin role in the Coast Guard.
Hear what I said? He'd been demoted.
DeFalco said that he had been passed up for promotion, that he had also not
Commander who managed the Concordia emergency from the ground was transferred
been
to an
told
office.
which admin office he was even being transferred to, and that it all effectively cancelled 10 years of his career.
Oh, no.
Even being transferred to, and that it all
In the chair, and I'm sent to the office. This crooked country punishes its
effectively
servants.
cancelled 10 years of his career. DeFalco was Tres Furioso, and there was
Three Furious
public speculation that it was owing to bad blood between himself and Admiral Delano, his former boss.
That was Shepard, but all right.
His status among the public overshadowed his
Delano was promoted and sent to Rome after the Concordia
superior in
disaster.
many ways. On the other hand, his boss said, no, it's part
Every year I sign 500 transfers of officers. They are very normal movements. Changing for us is an enrichment. If he wants to remain operative, he will be able to do it when he has the degree. Now he cannot. We don't promote for a nice operation.
part of a normal career progression for naval officers, and that he must show more maturity and professionalism to advance his career. Now, it's hard to know what's true in office politics, so let's leave that alone. And anyway, in 2018, DeFalco said Buenas noches
Italian cruise ship hero among populace.
later to the Italian Navy to become a politician. In March that year, he was elected to the Italian Senate, serving as a member for Livorno. He still serves there today.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain. Nice.
The day after the disaster, Scatino was taken into custody by police and underwent questioning.
Placed under house arrest as 5 new bodies are found. An Italian judge has placed the captain and stricken a cruise liner, which capsized off Italy's west coast, under house arrest, allowing him to leave jail.
However, it was clear that this would not be a straightforward investigation. So the judge released him under house arrest at his home in Sorrento.
Okay, this is the fucking cruise ship. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's the cruise ship half underwater.
A town in Napoli. By July of that year, the house arrest was relaxed and he was allowed within this general area. While under house arrest, he wrote a book with this journalist from Rai magazine. I have no idea what it says, I don't speak Italian.
I mean, this tomato sauce is too spicy. What the, like, people died, man.
But goddammit, he must have some kind of charisma going on, because there's been a lot of speculation in the press that he had an affair with her as well.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Hold on, I got it. Not content with abandoning his ship, this dude is determined to abandon his wife as well. So, Schettino and 5 others are facing criminal charges. Straight away, everyone lodges a plea bargain with the court, and all of those plea bargains are accepted, except for Schettino's. And the condition of everyone's reduced sentences are that they must provide witness testimony against Schettino.
Done. 100% done. Let's go. Let's go. I'll do it. Let's go. Sign me up. I'll be first. I don't care.
He touched me.
Ciro, Jacob, and Silvia were all given suspended sentences.
2 years, 10 months, 1 year, 8 months, 1 year, 6 months.
Roberto and Manrico are
1 year, 11 months, 2 years, 6
able
months.
to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal. A good deal.
Oh, wait.
And Silvia were all given suspended sentences.
So first officer, third officer, and helmsman, jail.
Roberto and Manrico.
Costa Crisis Unit and hotel director. Oh, because he was like, hey, don't panic, it's fine. He was lying to people. Okay.
Are able to opt for community service or house arrest. Not a bad deal. A good deal. A good deal. And that meant that Schettino was now all on his own. Ciro, the first officer, was the first to give his testimony. On the witness stand, he claimed that Schettino was distracted by his mistress.
Yeah. So basically, they don't have to go to jail. They could do community service or something. Or house arrest. I'd do house arrest. Personally. I'm lazy, and I don't want to leave my house anyway.
And other guests on the bridge.
Oh my God.
That there was confusion over who was in.
But he did not immediately speak the phrase, I'm taking control, which signals a change in command. However, given the way he positioned himself, I assumed he had taken command, and I thought I was no longer in charge. Then, since the captain was distracted, and we were getting closer, I gave orders to the
command. Then it was Jacob's turn. And he said, Lamau XD, because he didn't actually bother with his testimony or his reduced sentence. He just fled the country. It took authorities 12 months to eventually track him down on the outskirts of Jakarta. And when they said, oi, we still want that witness testimony, he just scalped again. And he hasn't been found since.
Bye, I guess. Like later.
After that, Ferrarini.
Welcome, Pink. How's it
He
going?
gave his testimony, then look, we don't have time to relitigate the whole trial.
You had to pay for the ankle monitor when you were under house arrest? That is some bullshit. You have to pay for and it could run you $500 a month or more? Jesus Christ! What? Bruh.
So let's just go
If you damage it, it's very expensive. What the fuck?
straight to the verdict. Guilty! Schettino was found guilty of multiple manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, abandoning ship, and lying to authorities. He is sentenced to 16 years and 1 month in prison.
Okay.
But wait, this...
No! I don't know! What do you mean? What? This motherfucker's just gonna walk away, isn't he?
Still the appeals. The appeals trial begins. And the verdict on the appeal? Surprise! Rejected! So Schettino's lawyers appealed again. And the verdict on the final appeal?
Schettino made multiple attempts to secure a plea deal, but was denied by the prosecution each time. The prosecution called for Schettino to be sentenced to 26 years in prison, calling...
Prostitution. It's probably what he was wanting to do. Anyway, prosecution called for 26 years, but he only got 16.
The incident a Titanic affair.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Schettino was not present. His lawyers stated that he was waiting outside of the jail for the ruling, so that if his plea was rejected, he could immediately start serving his sentence. And with that, 5 years and 4 months after the disaster, he was finally in a cell.
I will not be making
5 years it took them, though.
any comment. Oh, God, that hurt.
The salvage operation was enormous. It took over 2 years and cost an estimated $1.2 billion. Beginning in early 2012,
Workers began pumping fuel from it. All right.
They first spent 2 months pumping fuel from the ship's tanks. At the same time, they had to pump seawater in so that the balance wasn't affected and the ship didn't slide around. In early 2013,
early 2012, pump fuel out, pump water into replace. Early 2013, platform put underneath, sponsons attached, and water into those.
2013, a platform was built under the ship to prevent it from falling further. Sponsons were then attached to the sides of the ship and cables attached to the underwater platform. The sponsons were then dragged underwater and opened up to allow the ocean to fill them. The ship could then roll over properly. By late 2013, the ship was upright once more. The sponsons were then attached to the side of the ship to help keep it balanced. It now rested partially above water and crews could walk around safely. By July 2...
Roll ship, more sponsons. Mid-2014, water removed from sponsons. Air in, lift ship.
2014, the water was removed from the sponsons and compressed air was pumped in to lift the ship. And she was ready to cruise again.
Tow that thing to the trash yard and dismantle it.
This time to a port in Genoa. It was a 4-day towing journey to the docks where a 2-year process of dismantling and recycling would begin. That's...
Is that the Uncharted dude?
2-year process of dismantling and recycling.
This guy.
Would begin. That same weekend of the towing, Scatino was busy. He was the guest of honor at a white party on an island in the Bay of Naples.
What?
He appeared on the front page.
Well, under house arrest before he went to prison. So basically, you know, quote-unquote house arrest, huh?
Page of a local newspaper, flanked by 2 of Italy's most eligible bachelorettes. Anyway, so these are the things that I remember from the Costa Concordia. That sweet maiden of the sea. And as for you, little fella. Well, it's time to return you.
Is he gonna throw it over? Jesus Christ.
6 quick things. 1. NordVPN, good product, check them out. Number 2. There's a new video on the second channel. You probably didn't see it because it was temporarily restricted. Now it's not. Enjoy. 3. If you've never seen the second channel before, give it a go. It's a different type of content, but we put a lot of production into it. It's not just offcuts. 4. There are a couple secret channels as well, but I ain't telling you where they are. 5. No more 45-minute videos on the main channel. Back to 10 to 15 minutes and more of them. 6. There's a Q&A coming out next week on incognito mode. It's got a ton of detail that we had to cut for the sake of brevity and will no doubt feature a ton of corrections as well. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, I might do the Q&A for another video later. However, I hate cruises. I've never been on a cruise. This is important to note. I've never been on a cruise. It's just like my nightmare, okay? And this just made me feel more secure about those feelings, to be 100% with you, because what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, what? All of that? Best case scenario, I'm the South Korean couple that, like, somehow slept through all of it and then was trapped and someone rescues me. Worst case scenario... Anyway, I just no. Why go on cruises? That's just, you could just don't do that. I mean, if cruises were the way, like Titanic, like this is how you get from point A to point B, sure, whatever, I guess. It'd be like that sometimes, I guess. But like we got airplanes, and I'm not saying airplanes is good for the environment. They're not, but like, if you have to pick one, like if you have to get rid of one, right? I don't know. Hydrate. I just, no, thank you. World's greatest in fatness. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. No, thank you. Hard pass. Not doing that.